Welcome to the deep dive. Ever faced that situation? A longer trip, maybe business, maybe you're an expat setting up,
hmm
and you're just dreading weeks in a hotel room? Well, today we're diving into something that might be the perfect solution. Serviced apartments in Manila. This is especially for you if you're looking at a longer stay, needing something more comfortable, more cost-effective than a typical hotel. Kind of like the helpmoveinstay.com provides, right? They've been sorting this out for travelers for, what, over 25 years now?
It's a really common issue, isn't it? Hotels are fine for a night or two, but yeah, a month, it gets old fast
Yeah.
and expensive. So, our mission today is to unpack why serviced apartments in Manila, well, they're often the ideal choice. It's that aha moment for extended stays. We'll pull out the key stuff from our sources, show you why this might be exactly what you need.
Okay, let's get into it then.
Right.
We all know hotels, but what is a serviced apartment? Is it just a bigger hotel room with, like, a kettle?
That's a great starting point because there's a really key difference. They're designed specifically as a blend, kind of a sweet spot between hotel convenience and, well, having your own actual place. They're for people needing more than a few nights. Sources say they offer more space and amenities than a standard hotel. They come fully furnished, often separate living areas, bedrooms, and, yeah, a kitchen. It's meant to be like your own little home away from home.
Okay, so definitely more than just a kettle. What are the big differences then compared to a hotel, especially if you're staying a while?
Well, the differences become really significant for longer stays. First, space. They are generally much larger than hotel rooms. You can actually spread out, but the huge one. You'll usually have a fully equipped kitchen. That changes everything about your daily routine, your budget. Plus, you get more privacy and independence. It feels more like your own apartment, less like you're constantly in a public space, and, critically, cost. For longer stays, serviced apartments can often work out cheaper than hotels. That's a major factor.
Right, okay, that's where it gets really interesting. For someone planning, say, a month-long assignment or a relocation, it sounds like this is where they truly uh, come into their own.
Absolutely. The sources really stress that they really shine when it comes to extended stays.
Mhm.
If you're in Manila for a week, a month, or even longer, the benefits just stack up. Think about business travelers or families needing temporary housing. It's a very comfortable and practical solution that avoids that living out of a suitcase feeling. It's about establishing a proper base.
So going beyond just being bigger, what about the core benefits, comfort, space?
Yeah.
How does that feel different day to day?
Well, the most immediate thing is just the sheer amount of space. It's not just a room. You usually get separate living, sleeping, and sometimes even dining areas. Imagine, actually unpacking properly, having a sofa to relax on, maybe even having a colleague over for a quick meeting without sitting on the bed. It genuinely feels more like a home away from home. You can find places like serviced residences in BGC, Bonifacio Global City, that really nail that mix of hotel services and home comfort. It's a very modern area, too.
And the cost thing, that's huge, isn't it? Especially over weeks or months. How does that actually play out? Does it save that much?
Yeah, it often surprises people. The nightly rate might look similar at first glance, but the cost effectiveness becomes clear over longer stays. That kitchen, total game changer. You can cook your own meals and avoid expensive restaurant bills 3 times a day. Think about the savings over a month. Plus, many rates are inclusive rates for utilities, maybe even basic cleaning, so fewer surprise charges than you might get in a hotel. Like hotel laundry is notoriously pricey. Here, often in-unit or on-site facilities, much cheaper, much more convenient. Same with food. Self-catering saves a lot compared to constant room service or eating out. We're talking substantial savings.
Okay, so more space saves money. What about the privacy aspect, that feeling of it being your own place?
That's a big one. Serviced apartments offer a level of privacy that hotels often can't match. Fewer people around, less coming and going in the corridors. It feels more like your own sanctuary. Really good for concentrating if you're working or just relaxing if you're with family. And the flexibility is key too. Having your own kitchen and living area allows you to set your own schedule and live at your own pace. You decide when to eat, when to work, when to relax. It's much more empowering.
All right, convinced on the benefits. So what can you actually expect inside? Facilities, services. Let's start with that all-important kitchen. What does fully equipped really translate to?
Right, the fully equipped kitchen, it's usually pretty comprehensive. You're looking at a refrigerator, decent size usually,
Hmm.
a hob or cooker, sometimes an oven, a microwave definitely, and then the basics, essential cookware, so pots, pans, utensils, and cutlery, crockery, glassware. Enough to actually cook and eat properly. It just gives you so much freedom over your diet and spending.
And beyond the kitchen, you mentioned separate living areas, maybe even for work. That's often missing in hotels, isn't it? That dedicated space.
Exactly, that's another major plus. Service departments typically feature separate living and working areas.
Hmm.
So expect a comfortable lounge area, maybe a sofa, armchairs, a television, usually with cable or satellite, often a dining table and chairs, and crucially for many, a dedicated workspace with a desk and chair, and importantly, reliable internet access.
Hmm.
Having these distinct zones just makes it feel much more like a home than a temporary lodging. You can work without feeling like you're in your bedroom all day.
So you get the apartment vibe, the space, the kitchen, but don't have to do all the chores yourself, like cleaning.
That's the beauty of the service part. You get independence, but with hotel-like services.
Hmm.
Typically, this means regular housekeeping services, so the place stays clean and tidy. They'll handle linen and towel changes, and maintenance services if anything breaks. Some even offer a concierge service. It's designed for a hassle-free stay.
Okay, this sounds brilliant, but Manila's huge. How do you actually find the right one? Where do you even start looking?
Yeah, that's where a bit of planning helps. As our guide says, finding the perfect spot can feel a bit like navigating a maze, but it's mainly about balancing your needs, budget, and desired location. Location first. It's crucial in Manila because of the traffic. Oh, absolutely. Reviewing guest feedback is critical. You have to read reviews from previous guests.
Yeah.
That gives you a realistic idea of what to expect. Look for comments on cleanliness, service quality, overall satisfaction. Don't just look at the star rating. Read the comments, both good and bad. It helps you judge the overall value and if any potential issues are relevant to you.
Right. Found the perfect place. Read the reviews. How do you actually book it? Any tips for getting a good deal?
Well, the obvious route is through online booking platforms, booking.com, Agoda, Expedia, those guys. But also look for specialist sites that focus specifically on service departments. They might have different inventory or deals. Always compare prices, read those reviews again, and always check the fine print, cancellation policy, extra fees, all that. But here's a pro tip. Consider the power of going direct. Check the provider's own website. Sometimes booking directly can unlock better rates or perks. You might find special long stay offers, and you can often get tailored advice directly from them.
Good tip. Okay, final hurdle before moving in. The rental agreement. Sounds a bit dull, but probably quite important.
Definitely the boring but important bit, yes. This document is key. It outlines your rights and responsibilities as well as the providers. Make sure you review the payment terms, the exact cancellation policy, any house rules, noise, guests, pets, and what happens regarding liability for damages. Really, just take 5 minutes to read it properly. It's better to be safe than sorry. Ask questions if anything's unclear.
Okay, you've navigated the booking, signed the agreement, got the keys. Now you have this great base in Manila. It's not just about staying in. It's about exploring what should be on the list.
Exactly. That's the big advantage. Manila is steeped in history. You absolutely have to visit Intramuros, the walled city, explore Fort Santiago. It's like stepping back in time. Rizal Park is nearby too, a huge, large green space where you can relax. Having your apartment base makes these explorations feel less rushed, more enjoyable. You could even plan full-day sightseeing tours to Tagaytay for volcanoes and cooler air, knowing you have a comfy home base to come back to.
And for food lovers, or if you want some evening entertainment.
Oh, Manila is a foodie's paradise. Truly, a massive range of dining options, from street food to high-end restaurants. You have to try traditional Filipino dishes like adobo and sinigang. Having a kitchen means you can even try cooking local finds yourself. For entertainment, plenty of bars, clubs, and live music venues. And the malls, like SM Mall of Asia, are huge hubs for shopping, dining, cinemas, everything. Easy to access from most central locations.
Getting around. Manila's famous for its traffic. What's the best approach for navigating the city?
Yeah, getting around Manila can be a bit of an adventure. You have to factor in the traffic, definitely. The jeepneys are a unique and affordable way to travel, a real local experience. Taxis and ride-hailing apps are everywhere. For longer hops, the MRT and LRT systems, the train lines are useful, but be warned, they get very busy, especially at peak times. Walking is great for exploring local areas, but yeah, be ready for the heat and humidity. Key advice. Plan your routes in advance, and don't be afraid to ask locals. They're usually happy to help.
We've mentioned business travelers a few times. Let's circle back to that specifically. Why is the service department such a smart move for someone in Manila purely for work?
Good question. Manila is definitely becoming a real hub for business, and service departments are a very strategic choice here. Number one, proximity to business districts. Choosing an apartment in or near Makati, BGC, or Ortigas saves huge amounts of time otherwise lost in traffic. That's invaluable. Some places might even offer shuttle services to major office areas. That's a big plus for convenience and stress levels.
And for actually doing the work, internet, a proper desk, those are non-negotiable, surely.
Absolutely. Reliable internet is non-negotiable. Fast, stable Wi-Fi is essential, period. And yes, having a dedicated workspace, a proper desk, a decent chair, good lighting makes a world of difference compared to balancing a laptop on your knees on a hotel bed. Some apartments are really geared towards business users, maybe offering extras like meeting rooms or secretarial services. Worth checking if you need that level of support.
And for longer projects, it just sounds better for your sanity, doesn't it? Living out of a hotel for months must be draining.
It really is. For those extended assignments, having a proper living space, a kitchen to cook your own meals, and laundry facilities, well, it can make a huge difference to your well-being. It lets you maintain some normality, eat better, feel less like you're constantly on the road. It helps prevent burnout. Basically, a service apartment is like having your own little flat in Manila. It's just a much more comfortable and convenient option than a cramped hotel room, especially when you need to focus and stay productive over the long haul.
So there we have it, a deep dive into serviced apartments in Manila. If you had to boil it down, what's the main takeaway for our listener?
I think the core message is this. For extended stays in Manila, serviced apartments offer a really powerful advantage. You get that feeling of having your own place, the space, the comfort of home, but you also get hotel-like services without the hotel price tag, especially over time. It's that unique blend of cost-effectiveness, privacy, and flexibility that really makes them stand out.
Yeah, whether it's work, a long holiday, or you're relocating, it really sounds like choosing a serviced apartment could genuinely upgrade your whole Manila experience, make it feel less temporary, more grounded.
Exactly. And that actually brings up an interesting thought, doesn't it? In this age where work and travel blur, how might having a truly self-sufficient base like this change how we actually approach experiencing a new city? Could it make even a purely functional trip feel more, I don't know, rooted and personal?
Definitely something to think about as you plan that next trip. Thank you for joining us in this deep dive.